Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Christmas Day, number 25 day for this month of December 2024. Our fellow people, we have an announcement to make of the passing of Justice Ayah Paul Abine. He lived between 1946 till December 25, 2004. It is with profound sorrow that we announce the passing of Justice Ayah Paul, a man of extraordinary integrity, selflessness, unwavering commitment to justice, who departed this world on Christmas Day at Buea Regional Hospital. Justice Ayah Paul was not just a legal luminary, but a beacon of hope and a voice of the hopeless, particularly to the oppressed people of the southern Cameroons. His life stands as a shining example of moral fortitude, refusing to compromise his principles, even in the face of immense personal hardship. So, fellow Ambazonians, I'll take time to pay tribute to Justice Ayah Paul. I remember the last time I talked to Justice Ayah Paul, he just had an interview in Equinox, a very big interview, and I had some conversation with him, and the topic is something for another day. But today I want to pay tribute to him, so I will go through the tribute for Justice Ayah Paul. He has an integrity, he's a man with extraordinary integrity, selflessness, as I have said. His life has served as a shining example to all of us. In his personal career, Justice Ayah Paul has rose to the apex of Cameroon's judiciary, becoming a Supreme Court judge. Despite the power and influence that came with that position and that role, he resisted the temptation of corruption that ensnared many who are elites from southern Cameroons. His unwavering integrity earned him the respect not just among southern Cameroonians, but amongst Cameroon as a whole. As a judge, Ayah Paul often took stands that were not politically expedient, standing firm on principles of justice and equality. He refused to align with corrupt practices of the regime and made himself a rare target and a rare figure in Cameroon judiciary, unlike modern-day Cameroon judges that are all old and do not stand on principle, but he is a judge who deserves to be a judge. He championed the cause of the oppressed, constantly aligning himself with the poor, marginalized, particularly our Anglophone population, whose rights have been systematically oppressed by the Francophone-dominated government. His work to highlight the plight of our Ambazonian refugees in Nigeria were a cornerstone of his legacy. He spoke out about the dire condition faced by displaced persons in Nigeria and even within Cameroon. His son carried that role by visiting most people that have been highlighted as being the victims of this war. In 2017, I want to quote one of his statements he made. Justice Ayah Paul declared, "The plight of the Anglophone in this country is one of systemic injustice, and we cannot remain silent while our people suffer." Ayah Paul was the chairman of PRAP, Popular Action Party. However, he heeded to the call of Ambazonia, the call for southern Cameroonians to boycott political participation in the Cameroon government structure by resigning from his position in a remarkable show of solidarity with the Ambazonian cause, something that John Frundi, all parliamentarians, including Honorable Buea, could not resign to show solidarity. Despite the loss of salaries, he took the bet and resigned from his political party. In 2007, where he officially resigned, this is what he said. And this was the first and initial stages of this struggle. I read and I quote what he said. "The integrity of our struggle demands that we do not partake in structures that oppress our people. My allegiance is to the justice and to the future of my people." That is a quote during his resignation, and he resigned from his political party. He stands for justice. Ayah Paul advocacy for Southern Cameroon right made him a primary target of the Cameroon government. In January, that same year where he resigned, he was arrested without charges, detained under harsh conditions, a clear act of political persecution for his outspokenness in defense of our Anglophone rights. The harsh condition of his detention, combined with his age and his frail health, likely contributed to his premature death. His arrest symbolizes the Cameroon government's intolerance for dissent and their determination to silence the voice that speaks for justice for the people of the Southern Cameroon. When he was released, Ayah Paul made this statement, and I quote, "I have suffered for my people, but I would do it again. Justice is worth the sacrifice." End of quote. Justice Ayah Paul Abine's life and sacrifice made him a deserving of the highest honor within our community. His contribution to go beyond judicial touching of the heart of our people is an inspiration for generations to come. He is one of those people that we dream of having his name, his picture, his portrait display on an Ambazonian currency. In 2020, in an interview, he reiterated his lifelong commitment to justice by making this statement. I quote, "It is not about me. It is about what is right for our people." Justice Ayah Paul Abine was not just a judge, he was a voice for the voiceless, a pillar of integrity, and a symbol of hope for Southern Cameroonians. His selflessness includes resigning from politics, enduring persecution, dedicating his life to the plight of the oppressed. It has made him a timeless icon of justice and humanity. His death is a painful reminder of the cost for standing for the truth in the system of La République, where the rule of the barrel of the gun reign, unfortunately. Rest in peace, my hero. Rest in peace, our hero.
And the spectators are seeing me. This is all me. You've already said rightly that I've been in this wheelchair since June 2022. End of May this year will make me 24 months on this chair. I was taken ill in January 2019. The situation degenerated steadily till June 2022, when I could no longer stand on my own feet. I got paralyzed from the waist to the toes and got confined to this wheelchair. It would be recalled that on the 21st of January 2017, I was kidnapped from my house in Yaoundé, from my residence in Yaoundé, and kept in captivity for 223 days without charge. Some fine day, I was just told to walk back home. While in detention, I lost my left eye. I now see only with the right eye. I developed a cardiac malaise, which is still on. Only yesterday, I went to a center in Douala where I have my medical checkup every month. And I was advised to meet a cardiologist. That's me. How did we get to this point where I climbed the judicial ladder to the top, got to index 1,400. Nobody goes beyond. Saved my country for at least 4 decades, only to end up the way I am. I'm unable to foot my medical bills because not only has my pension been retained by the government without any reason, without even informing me, for close to 7 years, but for over 5 years now, my bank accounts have been frozen. Nobody has told me why they were frozen. In fact, nobody has told me my accounts were frozen. I went to withdraw money to buy my medicines, only to find that I could not do it. And the bank informed me orally that they had been ordered to freeze my account. I have millions lying somewhere, yet I have nothing in terms of money to buy my medicines. My children have sacrificed. God gave me wonderful children, but then they have their own problems to solve. Decision to judge the justice system in Cameroon. I can only say that even as a Supreme Court judge, while in captivity, I went to court with a habeas corpus application. It was rejected by the High Court, rejected by the Court of Appeal, and I appealed to my colleagues of the Supreme Court. That was in 2017. Up to this moment I am talking, there's nothing before me that the case has been heard. Whereas by a Cameroonian law, the Criminal Procedure Code, the Supreme Court had 30 days. They have not done so up to now, by in 2024, 7 years since. So that alone would lead anybody to draw conclusions as to the justice system. It's not for me to judge. I tried in the past to say a number of things that I thought were of general interest, and I paid dearly for it. I'm still paying dearly for it. Can you imagine that pension is my saving? How would anybody return my pension without due process? That is our justice system. I went to the African Commission for Human and People's Rights at the Gambia since April 2017. Anybody can calculate from April 2017 to today. The case has not been heard. A few months ago, my lawyer told me he had information that the file was missing. That was after there had been rumors upon rumors, even allegations that the government had compromised the commission. even at the international level, I cannot obtain justice. We don't know if the case is still pending or truly the file is missing. Missing even at the international level. And for researchers, research fellows to go into it and dig out. All I can say is that in my early life, I grew up in part with a British soldier, late Colonel L.T. Valentine, and he impacted in me a lot of principles. One of them was never to keep anything in my stomach, on my mind, because those are not stores. So I speak out. While in Parliament, I spoke out. They didn't kill me, but Martinez Zogo, who repeated just what I had said over the years, I was in Parliament for 11 years, has been killed. And I got to a point where I said it was unconscionable. It was immoral. That's the meaning of unconscionable, is legal jargon. That it was unconscionable to amend the Constitution to the benefit of an individual. I incurred a lot of hostility. I was still in CPDM at the time, hostilities from my friends. They even tried to table a law that would get me out of Parliament. I received death threats.
Justice Ayah Paul had a direct message to Paul Biya, who is the head of state of Cameroon. This is the message Justice Ayah Paul had for Paul Biya. Let's listen.
Mr. President of the Republic, if I stood against constitutional amendment, I had nothing against you. It was a matter of principle. Pension is a saving, money deducted from my salary over the period of my career. It is not money I have to earn. How on earth would your government sit on my money for 7 years, even at the time that I am on the brink of the grave? Mr. President, I leave it to your conscience. You may wish to ask yourself, if I were in Paul Ayah's position, and you happen to be Paul, the wonderful preacher, the wonderful teacher, if we bear that name truly, I leave it to your conscience.
Justice Ayah Paul have suffered the consequences that all of us Anglophones, people of Southern Cameroon, have suffered. When Paul Biya went on stage in the international stage and declared and admitted that the Cameroon government have tried to assimilate us Southern Cameroonians, what he needs to know is that that attempt to silence us is the type of treatment that Justice Ayah Paul have suffered. That attempt to assimilate us, to destroy our conscience, our identity, was a big hand that oppresses us, that denies justice for people who speak up for justice. Ayah Paul is one of the victims of the many Southern Cameroonians that have not just been oppressed, disenfranchised, treated harshly because of who they are or because they stand for justice for the people of the Southern Cameroon. Justice will require that such injustice that were done to our people and people like Ayah Paul be undone, be addressed for any peace to reign. There must be justice for Ayah Paul. There must be justice for the attempted assimilation of the Anglophones by the dominant Francophone government. We still speak for justice for our people. We must seek justice for our people through attainable means. We have spoken for our people to fight. We have fought The Cameroon government have been defeated because they have admitted that they cannot assimilate us. It is the right thing to seek for Justice Ayah Paul's justice, to seek for justice for all the people that he represents, and to stand up for the oppressed people like he did. Waka fine, Pa. Waka fine. You are a noble man. You are an example that we will always follow. God bless you all. Merry Christmas.